What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm just going to talk about the raw reality of writing over $30,000 to $40,000 a month on my own pen. So I sell $30,000 to $40,000 a month in life insurance on average, and I do this all by working from home. And I figured I would just kind of give you guys the video that I wish I would have seen, because it has been a long time coming getting to this point. But a few of the things that I wish someone would have talked to me about is that this is not a get rich quick scheme. I was basically sold a dream that you're just going to be basically printing money and gold will be falling out of the sky overnight, and that's just not the case. This game is it is something that takes a lot of effort and time. It takes money, it takes dedication, and it also takes commitment to yourself and to your dreams. You are probably going to suck at first, whether you suck at the selling or whether you suck at the back end of the underwriting or the customer service, whatever it is. You're just not going to be great at this business starting out, because there's so many moving parts. And that's great. That's a good thing, right? Because what that means is that you don't have to worry about this ever being something that you can't do, because so many people give up. You just have to not give up to make it in this business. And so as long as you don't quit, you can't lose. It's pretty simple. A few of the other things that I kind of wanted to talk about is when you're in this, you're constantly leveling up. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to try to level other people up when you're still on their level. What I mean by this is that if you get into one of these hype up, sign up, recruiting MLMs, if you're a level 1 and you're trying to recruit people and they're level 0s or level 1s, the whole organization's a level 1. It's a house of cards, because no one's growing. And what you want instead is to be a level 7 or an 8 and higher level 1s, or recruit if that's what you're into. And the reason why I say that is because if you can't train people and you're taking responsibility for helping them in this opportunity, and you have no idea what the hell you're doing, and you're barely making any money, if anything, it's really hard for them to make money if you don't even know how to make money. So if your goal is to make money off of them by not knowing what you're doing, that's a really bad business plan. And you could take that to any business school in America and they'll tell you that's a terrible business plan. So level up your character. Right? This is just a game. Don't overcomplicate it or overthink it. It's just a game. And so whenever you're playing a game, the goal is to just level up your attributes so that you can, get to that next level, right? Go to that next boss, right? Beat the next boss. So if you're playing this game or you want to play this game, just don't go into this part-time. Save up 6 months of expenses and just go all in. A few of the things that a lot of people talk about is your compensation and whatever else benefits. They've got this supercalifragilistic lead that does handstands and buys from you because you're breathing, and that doesn't exist. There's no business model where you just get laydowns all day, or you wouldn't get paid anything. You would just be a customer service rep. So wherever you go, it's going to be hard. But what I found is that the heart of a teacher, someone that you can learn from, you can make way more money if you're learning from someone who's making money than you can if you're just going somewhere because they have a better deal or higher comp. And one of the ways that I would kind of illustrate that is if you're going to buy a car, and let's say you pass by the Mercedes dealership, and the cars might be super expensive, right? Let's say that you see a car and it's 80 grand and you really want it. But instead, you'd rather save the money, and so you buy the same exact car from a guy that's selling it in the driveway of an abandoned building. And he's selling the same car, same year, same miles, same everything. But he's selling it outside of an abandoned building. And instead of 80 grand, he's only selling it for 8 grand. While you might get a big discount on the car is going to come with a lot of problems. It's probably stolen, if we're being honest. So I say that because so many people get wrapped up in this, well, I want higher comp. And if you haven't earned that yet, then you don't even really deserve it. And, I had been consistently doing 25, 30K a month before I ever got over 55% compensation. But I also learned a lot there, and I wouldn't trade that experience for anything. And going independent was the hardest thing I ever did, in addition to starting the business from scratch, period. So if your goal is to be successful, stop trying to be a master when you're just at level 1 and start trying to be a student, which requires you to learn from a master so that you can increase your income quickly. That is one of the biggest lessons I wish I could have gathered early on. People will just dangle comp, they'll dangle this or that, and there's no fault to them. They're just trying to get you to come work for them because that's how they make money. And most places are just going to hype up, sign up, recruit you. There's very few people that actually do hire. I know, like our agency, we don't recruit people, we hire people. They have to go through an interview process. If they don't meet the requirements that we're looking for, then they don't get hired, like a normal place, like a normal, Fortune 500 company would do, right? Another one of the things that I kind of wish I would have heard a little bit more about is like, you're not just like a 6-figure earner. Making 6 figures is hard, and that's why you're like in the top 1% of income if you're doing it, because it's not easy. I mean, there are people who are running entire businesses, like, executives that are making less than life insurance agents. Because when you bring revenue to the table and money into the company, you're super valuable, which means you can make a lot of money, right? Sales is the highest paid job in the world, because if there's no sales, there's no business. And so my point in saying all of that is that just because you can make more money than everyone else doesn't mean that it's easy. I mean, you can make doctor money, but doctors go to school for like 8 years and then have to do training for like 5. For you to expect to do it in 30 days in a 20-hour course is unreasonable. So you're not just a 6-figure earner because you get a life insurance license. You become a 6-figure earner in your habits, and then the cash flow catches up. It's not the other way around. You don't make 6 figures and then become a 6-figure earner with your habits. Like when you go to the gym, you go to the gym to get in shape. You don't get in shape and then go to the gym. And so I really wanted to touch on that because people's expectations coming into this are just so misaligned. It's insanity. Mine were totally off. Like if I was not completely sold on selling life insurance because I see the opportunity, I would not have continued on, because so many people just tell you that it's this and that, and the truth is that you have to learn. It's just like anything else. But I think part of the reason it's so misaligned is because of what people tell you getting into it. Another thing that like I wish I would have have really closely paid attention to is like don't compare your results with other people. Focus on progression, not perfection. Other people will tell you, I've seen things that are like really frustrating, honestly, just to people that are coming into the business. I've seen guys go on social media and talk about how they're writing $100,000 a month on life insurance, but they're not even making any money. Like rent, they're struggling to pay rent. And like, what is the point of writing all that business if a bunch of it's charging back and you're counting rewrites and all this other stuff? Like, what's the point? And so, I mean, I would say just focus on progressing. And progressing is like getting money sent to your bank account from the life insurance company. So if week 1 you don't make any sales, week 2 you should aim to make some sales. 1 or 2 or 3. But you're not going to go from never having sold anything in your life to just suddenly writing 30, 40K a month. That's very rare. And it happens, but it's rare. And those people have their own struggles. They have chargebacks, or people don't pay their, people cancel, they don't know what they're doing, they miss this, they miss that, etc., etc. So don't rush being successful. That's been one of my biggest issues, is trying to rush being successful. Just let it happen in time. And just learn, focus on growing as a person. Those are some of the things that I wish I would have known or heard or been told coming into this business. And the reality of it is like, as long as you can focus on growing in this industry, getting better every day, then long term, you will make good money. And I've been in this business now since right after COVID. It was December of 2020, and I went from door knocking in a captive model to door knocking independent to telesales with no training to telesales independent, and now my business partner Tim and I are building a telesales agency with a free lead program. And we have agents that are seeing success with it. I'm obviously seeing success with it. But that took me 3 years? I don't even know. I can't even think about it. Is it 2021? It's 2024 now, so like 3 years. So that took 3 years. And if you didn't see me for the first 12 months, where I was, door knocking my butt off, barely making any money because I had super low comp going door to door, paying for all the expenses, then it just looks like it was an overnight success. But the reality of it is that it took 3 years to become an overnight success, doing 30 to 40K a month. And I was still writing a lot of business then, but it all has ups and downs. And if your goal is to get rich quick, I'd say this is not the industry for you. If you're trying to get rich quick, period, it's just like, it's not going to work out. You will get screwed if you try. So my advice to anyone, if you're watching this and you're thinking about getting into the business, is approach it as a student, not as a master, because you're not. And for those of you that are already in it, if you're not seeing success, if you don't have someone who's leading you into battle every day, then you need to get around people who know what they're doing, and you need to get around people who are doing what you want to do so that you can learn how they're doing it. Because being in business because the culture is good or because your friends are doing it is the worst business plan in the world. It's a terrible business plan. I've been there. And all of this is just me speaking from experience. So I'm just figured I'd get on here and talk about everything. I answered a lot of the questions that I had, other people have, and everything. But yeah, if I were getting into the insurance business again, I would still do it 100%. I would do it all over again. But what I would focus on is, first, if you don't know, find out how to sell. Consume sales content like crazy. Figure out how to underwrite simultaneously. And don't worry about trying to build an agency, recruiting or hiring people or doing anything else or marketing or this or that. Just literally just learn how to do that. Just learn how to sell, learn how to underwrite. If you can do that, if somebody else is getting you leads at your IMO or this or that or whatever, like if you're in a free lead program, whatever you're doing, if you can just figure out the basics, you can survive. And if you can survive, then you can start looking at going to the next steps, right? Growing as a salesperson and as a producer. And I just wouldn't expect to reasonably, like, you should not expect to be getting paid doctor pay when they went to school for 8 years and did 5 years of training. It's just unrealistic. So understand that it will take time. Understand that you have to learn. And if you can do that, I promise you, as long as you don't quit, you will not fail. So yeah, if you guys got value out of this, I hope to see you in the next video. And I don't know if I should make more videos like this. Comment down below. I just feel like people should know what they're getting into, and have a decent understanding of how this business works. That way they're not caught off guard or having misaligned expectations like I did. I just want to see more life insurance agents be successful and ultimately see more people making good money so that they can have what it is that they want in this business. So we'll see you in the next one.